do not, and I repeat, do not sleep on the dollar stores. Doesn't matter what dollar store, doesn't matter what kind of dollar store, how big, how small, do not sleep on the dollar stores. All right, so I am out today and I'm driving around town because I'm doing a dollar store run. I usually do this, I don't know. I mean, I go to the dollar store probably like once or twice every week because I get things there, like for everyday life. But what a place to find items to create prototypes. And I'm not gonna lie, it's super fun because if you're someone who is just getting into the board game design world and you are looking to not spend a lot of money, but you want something that's a little bit more visually appealing, we'll say, instead of just like cardboard and paper and, you know, cut circles and all that kind of stuff, which is fine. People use that for prototyping all the time. But if you want something just a little bit more in detail or a little bit more representative of what your game's going to look like, then dollar stores are great. So with that ramble, we're going to head out to some dollar stores. I'm going to walk the aisles. I'm going to show you the types of things that I look for, how much they are, and some surprises that you can step away with. So here in Canada, I mean, there are a lot of type of dollar stores depending on where you live. Any country, I'm sure that there's tons and tons of different types of dollar stores. This particular one that I'm going to now it's $1 plus. So it has everything from $1 up to $5. There's nothing higher than that. And when I go into a place like this, my top 2 tips for going into a dollar store to look for prototyping stuff is, number one, most obvious, toy section, because usually the toy sections have games of some kind, whether it's cards or dice or whatever like that. This particular one, I actually found a set of RPG playing dice for $4. It came with 3 those like nylon-y bags, and then 3 sets of RPG dice. So that's like D4 right up into the percentile dice, and like a little container to put them all in. And it was $4, and they were beautiful looking dice, green and blue and purple. So the toy aisle is good for that. Also the craft section. The craft section, you're probably going to find more components for playtesting or for prototyping than in any other aisle, because you're going to find things like bricks, cubes, lots of wooden items. So little wooden sets of cut images that usually you can color. They're like the perfect tokens, things like that. So I'm going to go in and we're going to do a little walk around and we'll see what we can find. Okay, so job number 1 is find the craft and art supplies. We found it, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. The wooden stuff. This is the most perfect. So this is actually, see, cubes like this, they're already pre-cut. They're not perfect, but you can write on them. You can stick stickers on them. It's perfect for making dice. These ones I use a lot as well too. Blank wooden cubes are great, and this is exactly what I was talking about, tokens. Like, this is like a tray's worth of tokens, right? So these are great prototyping items to start with because you can do just about everything that you would need to. You can color them, right? And there's so many different things, right, that you can find. Frogs, birds, right? $1.25, and you get, I don't even know, 24 of them. 24. So this is the kind of thing that I look for, and better yet, a lot of dollar stores will have things like these. These are actual wooden boards, right? That are the size of small boards. This is almost legitimately the same like texture, the same thickness as a board game board, right? There's even boxes, right? These boxes are $2. Use that as a small prototyping box. The other thing is they often sell wooden slats that you can use as tiles. So if you want something a little bit stronger, that's not just cut paper, you can actually find planks. And these are good because they're wood, so it's easy to glue things to them. You can color on them. And again, you don't have to go out of your way to do these things, but this is how I got started with my prototyping, is just looking for stuff like this. It's so easy. Like, I made my first games, you know, in like just a matter of months because there was so much accessible to me. And most of the stuff is $1, right? These bigger cases are a little bit more, $4. But even this, a whole bag of cubes. I bought one of these about 2 years ago, about a year and a half, and I'm not even through it yet. So they do last. They do last. And then the other thing is I usually look for things like beads, gems, stuff like this, right? Big bag of these guys, $1.25. So you can come out of here, you know, having spent like $10, and you have so many little items and tokens that you can use to get started. That looks a little bit better than just cut random paper or pictures, right? Most of my containers for my token pieces all came from the dollar store, right? Like, look, we got these, like, this is awesome. Actually, I've never even seen this before. Like, I came here last week and these were not here, and now I instantly want to make a game about things in a bottle. In fact, I'm probably going to buy this because I have a game that has tokens in a bottle, and I actually handcrafted them myself, but these look better. So we found a winner. The other great thing about the dollar store is these huge, look, $1.25, huge bundles of the little baggies, which are the same baggies that you use. Actually, most board games these days are coming with baggies like this already, but the fact that you can get, you know, 36, this one has 72 for like $1.25. Beads are okay too for playtesting pieces, but this is a huge win at the dollar store, is just getting these craft baggies. Every game, whether it's my own made game or a bot game, the pieces are in these, so that's great. All right, so the next stop is toys. Another great tip, if you're going to a dollar store or something like it, is look for seasonal. So right now we got Easter stuff set up because a lot of the time you can find little cool seasonal, like Easter tokens and things that are like only come out at that time. Like for Valentine's Day, they had like a bead package, which was hearts, but they're the most perfect bead tokens for like health points or hit points in like an RPG game or a fantasy game. So definitely check out seasonal sections in dollar stores. All right, so I don't know if you saw the little run through, but I just hit the jackpot. One of my favorite parts about the dollar stores now is they're actually getting in games from a couple years ago, like full-fledged, not just dollar store games, full-fledged board games that came out a year or two ago. Maybe they weren't as popular, but if you go back in the video, there were 2 there, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna buy them both. All right, well, this is only stop number 1. And sorry, you're a little bit crooked. This is only stop number 1, and we are clearly winning already. And this is what I love about the dollar stores. It's actually funny, when I first met my girlfriend, she used to sort of razz me a little bit because you're like, oh, well, you go to the dollar store a lot. And I was like, well, it's because of the things that I do and my interests and just how many cool things are at the dollar store. But not only did I find those items, you saw the aisles. Those are the 2 aisles I go to the most, the crafting section and the toy section. Now, hardware is also not a bad section to go to in a dollar store because you can find things like small washers and stuff like that, and people actually like using those as playtest parts or prototype parts. So there's plenty of options. But the fact that I came away with not 1 but 2 board games from the dollar store, like that's just, I'm excited. So I picked up, as you probably saw on the shelf there, we got a copy of Ishtar, which is Gardens of Babylon. But I mean, and you can see, like, these are not like, it's not like this is factory sealed. The thing about dollar stores is they often, the way most of them run is they're just getting extra stock of things, or things that are out of print, or things that are not being sold anywhere else. But like, this is like a 20, ILO is the company. This is like a 2020 game, 2020, 2021. And I know people were playing this back in the day, and I'm a sucker for any game that is nature focused, because I'm an outdoorsman myself. So this is super awesome. This was $5. I mean, you can find things at like Walmart and stuff for $5, but at a dollar store, that's pretty rad. So we got this one, which I definitely will jump into later on, for $5. And then we got the other one, which you might have seen, which was, I sort of glanced by this quickly on the shelf, but it's called Crystallized. I know that's backwards for you guys because using the wrong camera to face me. Whatever, it's all right. So Crystallized by Bicycle, which is like the company that makes the like playing cards and stuff like that. I've actually never seen this before. This was $4, and it looks pretty awesome. It's like kind of like an art abstract game. Makes like, it's like a tile layer, but the images come out looking like a 3D sort of Tetris type deal, which is really cool. You know, all these crystals that I guess you have to empty onto the little widget board there and stuff, but that's pretty awesome. So we got the Ishtar game for $5, and now Crystallized for $4. Two games in one go. We're doing pretty well for ourselves here today. So if that wasn't enough, after stop 2, I'm coming away with something else. And I mean, this doesn't always happen. I go to dollar stores at least once a week, and sometimes I'll find some good parts, some good components. That's usually what I'm on the hunt for. But the fact that now, you know, you can find games that are like games that you would find in bookstores, department stores, or even online at like places like Board Game Geek or, you know, Amazon, places where you can order from. It's crazy to be finding these quality of games for $4 to $5. So now we're coming away with Kitara. And I mean, lucky for me, it's another ILO game. So I don't know if there's something going on with dollar stores right now in that company, but shout out to ILO, because I'm going to be playing all your games for like the next 2 weeks, it seems. But again, this one looks awesome. It's fighting over, looks like a worker placement area control in the heart of Africa. We got different clans, tiger, wildebeest, cheetah. Super awesome. This looks great. Like I said, I'm a sucker for anything nature and animals. So this one was $4, and the Ishtar was $5. So we're talking, I have spent, before tax, $9, and I've got 2 solid games. And this one is also from 2020. So these aren't even that old. But I'm super excited to dive in to these and give this a go. So next up, I'm going to go to Dollar Tree, which usually in the past has had some really good game components. They actually have, it's funny enough, this next dollar store I'm about to go to, they actually sell, they have like a garden aisle in this dollar store, but they sell miniatures for like fairy gardens and stuff. But the cool thing is so many of those are the exact same size or a little bigger than, say, like meeples or meeple houses. And they're all fully painted. They're like miniatures that you would get at a craft store, but dollar store. And they make great playtesting pieces, great components. So I'm going to go head over that way, check them out, and I'm going to definitely take you along because it's fun to see these things. And like I said, this store that I'm going to, nothing is above $1.25. So like you're getting miniatures and miniature pieces, which aesthetically would look great for a prototype or a playtest, and they're $1.25. So let's head over that way and see what we can find. I doubt I'm going to come away with another game like this because 2 in one day is a score. Usually, well, I don't always find a game, but when I do, usually it's like 1. So we're just rolling in it. Dollar store discoveries. Number 3, let's get going. Dollar Tree. All right, so we are done. We're back. We made it. I hit 3 Dollaramas. I didn't get a chance to go to the Dollar Tree, which I think I'm just going to make another episode, just Dollar Trees. There was just too much traffic in my area today. And I stopped to get a haircut. So this is what it is now, which is crazy after 3 years. 3 years I had the man bun thing. Whatever, totally relevant. So we did really good today. Really, really good. If you remember the first stop, we came away with Ishtar. So that's really cool. The gardening game by ILO. And then on the second dollar store visit, I had picked up Kitara, also by ILO. I did go to third Dollarama, didn't yield anything. They actually just had more copies of this. But on the first trip with this one, I had also come across Crystallize, which is pretty rad. I already jumped into it. Already dove into that one. It takes about 20 minutes. Pretty fun. But the big winners are, I wouldn't say big winners, but the ones that sort of intrigue me the most are these two. And that's because they are Earth/nature based games, which is totally my jam. This channel is not really going to be about doing board game reviews and unboxings because there's a lot of that already. However, if the game is about nature or animals or plants or anything along that nature, no pun intended, partially intended, I will most likely do a review on those just because I am such an outdoorsman and I want to get some of that out there. But the main idea again is just the antiquing and the quirky hunting and the crafting at home. So with that said, you will definitely need to keep an eye and an ear out for unboxings of these guys. Shout out to ILO for making a lot of nature themed games and catching my eye very easily. And shout out to Bicycle for making Crystallize, which is very artsy and very, very cool, very unique. I liked it a lot. But that's it. That's all we got today for the Dollarama discovery for this episode of Quirky Hunts. Now there will be a new one next Friday because Friday is the day that I put out these episodes. But next Friday we're going to stick to the antiquing. I'm not going to go to any commercial stores or retail stores. We're just going to hit 3 or 4 antique shops or thrift shops. I haven't decided yet. Within my area, couple, and just see what we can come away with. Whether it's parts, pieces, whatever. Which I always find a little bit more, well, it's definitely more fun than doing retail. Because you can find things in all shapes and sizes and in all levels or like conditions. Sometimes you might just want to buy a game to pick it apart for its pieces, and sometimes you might just find a game. So keep an eye out for that. Come back and join me next Friday for some thrifting or some antiquing, and we'll see what we can find. Thanks a lot for watching. Really appreciate it, guys. We'll see you next Friday or Monday or Wednesday, depending on when the next video comes out. Have a good one. Whoa, look at that. I'm so excited I tore into this already. Probably not going to cut that out.